I started listening to podcasts during my first internship. I was doing equine therapy, situated in the middle of nowhere, northern France, Wi-Fi-less. Just me and 150 horses. This is pretty much a dream, but excluding the one day a week I got to play some calls, it was nice to hear someone else jabbering in my ear, other than my inner thoughts. Podcasts took me out of my head and temporarily let me become the audience. That's why I chose this format. I want it to be this connection, a reminder, a kick up the ass, a brawn of strength that you can carry in your back pocket. And that's what I want Guts and Glory to be. We're a podcast about following one's gut, in the many ways this manifests. It's a diary of some sorts, snippets and conversations from people I know and from people I wish to know. Unfiltered and wholly without blueprint. A quick heads up, we're dealing with an overseas call here, so the audio may reflect that. Coming to you from Rome in Massachusetts.
I know that I could live in whatever house you choose to build, and I will model my...
In this first episode, we'll be hearing from fashion designer Sara Aphrodite-Stolwijk and what following your gut means to her and the impact it has had. It's short and sweet and the perfect teaser for what is to come. This is a moment of clarity with Sara Aphrodite-Stolwijk.
Rosary where previously no rosemary was shown. They have aerials they feed for me and they...
Testing, Guts and Glory here. My name is Sara Aphrodite-Stolwijk and I have a fashion line called Sara Aphrodite. Following your gut feeling is very important to me and very necessary, at least in my work. I believe you have to follow it in order to find your own rhythm, your own ways of working, to discover your values and discover your stance. It's really, I think, the only way to sustain your work on a long-term basis and to keep your work alive and truthful. The number one question I had starting off my career is not so much a question. I was traveling the world. I was 21 years old. I'm living in Holland at the time, and I was traveling the world. And so it was in Greece where I had this really clear moment that I realized I wanted to study fashion. I realized I wanted to be in that field. And that feeling of clarity is still with me doing this job. Like, I still feel the same way about it. Questions, however, pop up all the time along the way. Because you need to figure out who you are, what you want, how you want to work, what you want to communicate. So those questions hopefully never stop. But the number one feeling I had getting into this was just a moment of very clear, secure, realization that fashion was for me. And that's what it has been ever since. Although there has been one moment, like a 2 year or 2.5 years in between then when I had that moment and now, where I was pregnant and I stopped everything because I wanted to find out who I was if I wasn't a fashion designer. And so I stopped everything. I was having a baby and all of that. And it's actually in those years that I stopped, I again realized that I wanted to do fashion. And again, it was like a really right feeling, like no questions asked. There's not anything else for me. So that's the story. Guts and Glory signing off.
Sara is one of the few designers that gives me butterflies. Her pieces not wholly committed to the traditional sense of a trouser or belt, but flourish and drape select landscapes of the body, explored and presented through collaborative photographs by photographer BRIANNA and Sara herself. Sara Aphrodite is transitioning to becoming a fully vegan brand. All info provided in the show notes. Now this is the part where you stop everything you're doing and go see what all the fuss is about. People are my cause and effect. At the end of the day, it's why I smile and cry and draw and geek out over cool shit. Why I feel alienation and safety and like I am a part of something. Guts and Glory is everyone for everyone. This was a moment of clarity with Sara Aphrodite-Stolwijk / our launch episode. Please share your thoughts and show us some love by subscribing or get in touch to be featured on the podcast. To be released every other Monday. Thanks for lending us an ear. Passing on the mic.
But you say don't be afraid, and you try to explain how the best that we can hope and hope to gain is to love and then be loved, is to have and then to hold, till we age and then grow old.